this is easy.
Sat Sri Akal Ji. My name is Natalia Varanova, and today I am here with Dr. Harsimran Singh and Andrew Mazer. Dr. Singh has been very successful in many different ventures. He's been very successful in real estate. He owns many shopping centers, multi-family homes, along with other real estate ventures. Would you please give us a little bit background about yourself and how you got started in real estate?
Well, I came into the United States in 1973, and just a few years later, after working as an engineer for some company, I started getting into real estate investment business. As you mentioned, that I have owned shopping centers all over the nation, and self-storage facilities and industrial buildings, and we buy a whole lot of foreclosures all over. At times we buy real estate or do make a deal every day of the month. That's how busy we were in real estate.
Wow, that's great. I never heard of a real estate investor making a deal a day. That's very, very successful.
Thank you, Natalia.
And today here with us is also Andrew Mazer, who is a very respected and successful businessman. Welcome.
Thank you, Natalia.
Well, I have a few questions for you, Dr. Singh. I see here you have multiple books which you've written. A lot of them are on spirituality and religion, and some are on finance. Would you please explain to us how you got inspired to write your spirituality and religion books?
Well, I'll tell you that I've written many books on spirituality and religion. The first book that I wrote was The Divine Truth. That's basically based on extracts from Sri Guru Granth Sahib. I used to ask questions from teenagers, my sons, my daughter, and other people. And what are the questions on your mind that you want to know the answers to? And I'll try to get the answer from Sri Guru Granth Sahib, and wrote the book, The Divine Truth. And I was so much inspired by this book because this book went into the hands of people and Americans of different religions. Then the Christians started asking me the questions. Okay, how about a book on Christianity? And I didn't know much about Christianity, and there was no book written on spiritual aspects of Christianity. I said, okay, I'll make a daring step. So I started writing I wrote a book, A Spiritual Power, A Gift of Christianity and Sikhism, whereby I wrote one side I wrote about for a chapter on Christianity, other side on Sikhism. I think that's the best book that as you can give as a gift to your friends, to introduce yourself, who we are, what Sikhs stand for, and what are the differences, and what are the similarities between the two religions.
Wow.
And then I was still
still writing
further, and my Jewish friends started asking me, you wrote about Christianity, how about us? I said, okay, then I'll make that attempt also. So I had to read Torah, and I started writing this book, and I wrote the book, The Spiritual Gems of Judaism and Sikhism. The comparative study of the oldest to the youngest religion. Again, same thing. One side is written about Judaism, and the other side is about Sikhism. So this again, I think, a very meaningful book. It tells us how similar we are. The religion which was formed, one of the oldest religions, Judaism, and one of the youngest religion being Sikhism. How similar they are. One of my Jewish friends and Sikhs read this book. They were so inspired. Wow, what a similarities they have. And they both are extremely successful, as you know that, in financial field as well. So there must be something correlated here. Then when the other people started asking me, I said, where will I end up writing these books on religion? So I wrote a book on the power of prayer in 10 world religions, whereby I covered 10 religions also. So this is another book that I believe in power of prayer I wrote. But interestingly, I wrote a book, How to Always Be Unhappy. But this is really a funny way of addressing the book. It's really the secrets to being happy in life, which I took again from Shri Guru Granth Sahib, and I dedicated this book to Shri Guru Granth Sahib. So I'm very happy about it. This book, I get tremendous number of emails. I was interviewed by Fox News, by different national channels, and oh gosh, my website was hit thousands of times, and hundreds and thousands of books were sold after I was appeared on Fox Channel, Fox News, and of course, as you know that I've been written about in New York Times, New York Post, and so many newspapers and so many TV channels covered me up. Thanks to this country, that I got a lot of exposure about those books.
Actually, I really like that book myself. Tell us a little story about what inspired you to write the book.
Which book?
How to Always Be Unhappy.
Basically, there are certain factors to being happy in life. And what I have done is I have taken those chapters and written in a funny way as to what is it that makes you unhappy. So, like I just tell you that what made me write this book, I think that must be interesting. What made me write this book was I also write poems. And at one of the times we were going out with my wife, and I was sitting in the car, and I was writing the poem, and I was stopped at the red light. And my wife asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm writing a poem on how to be happy in life." She said, "Oh, come on, don't waste your time. Everybody knows how to be happy in life." I said, "Okay, if that's the case, I'm going to write the book on how to be unhappy in life." So I wrote that poem. And when I read that poem to my friends and in the party where I went to, oh gosh, they won't stop laughing. I said, that is the book that I'm going to write about. So that's the reason that I wrote this book, How to Always Be Unhappy, and the secrets to really being happy in life.
That's great. It's a very good book. And I see some financial books here. Would you please explain to us why you wrote the books about finance and what inspired you to go from religious books to actually books about finance and how to make people financially successful in life?
Well, I wrote about spirituality, about religions, and my children would tell me, okay, come on, write something about finances, how to make big money. I said, okay, so how did you do it in life? I said, okay, you do stock trading, come on, write a book on stock options. As a matter of fact, I traded on my own personal account $100 million.
Wow.
So I gained so much of knowledge from this. I said, okay, let me write a book. So I wrote a book, Stock Options, work half hour a day.
Half hour a day?
Work half hour a day, that's what I
Wow.
do it. Early in the morning, that's what I trade. And the other book that I wrote was because I had a lot of knowledge about real estate foreclosures. So I wrote a book on A to Z of foreclosures. Real estate worth millions acquired with $101. So those are secrets of my life. And I feel that citizens can learn a lot from immigrants. So,
I agree.
so I wrote a book, Rich Immigrant, Poor Citizen. Immigrants teach their children what citizens don't. It's quite a bit of story of my own personal life as well too. And also teaching the people as how to live a good life while living in the United States. This country provides you a lot, but there are certain things what are missing, and how to catch up to those missing things. I've written in this book here.
So it tells a lot of secrets.
Every book has some secrets there.
Well, Dr. Singh, with the rich immigrant, poor citizen, what would you say that contributes to the success on the rich immigrants? Meaning, compared to the citizens, why do they have an unfair advantage in your opinion?
There are several advantages. First of all, immigrants live in a very close family. The divorce word does not exist as much as it exists in the American society. So children are being taken care of by two parents all the time. Education is given a topmost priority. That's another reason for it too. And there are multiple reasons for it. Which leads, as you see that in the universities, if you go there, majority of the people who are attending the top colleges, Ivy colleges, they are from immigrant families. And immigrants know how to sacrifice the present to live a good life for the future.